All right, okay. So this is, guys, commercial compliance. Okay, I have nothing written. I'm going to tell you everything on top of my head that I do on regular basis. Fire alarms. Okay. Fire alarms and emergency lighting to be tested every 6 months. Okay. Yeah. The electric certificate every 5 years. Okay. Fire doors, the fire door closures, they need to close in full. Commercial properties, fire exit signs, very, very clearly displayed. If your door is not a fire door in and itself, and it doesn't have the closure and it doesn't close properly, the council guys can come in and close that room of yours or close that space of yours just because it doesn't close fully or it doesn't have a fire door. Okay. Furniture wise, it needs to be fire compliant. Carpets, fire compliant. Everything that goes inside the property, it needs to be fire resistant or compliant when it comes to commercial properties. Okay. Your beds. Yeah.
Does this requirement also apply to like a block of multiple units?
Yes. If you're
in the
using
residential, but
yes, if you're using them for service accommodation, the answer is yes. It becomes a commercial property. Okay. You need to get PAT testing. So all your electrical appliances need to be electrically tested every 12 months. Okay. Like I said, your fire exit signs, your fire doors at all times need to be clear. Okay. So imagine if I am the council officer and I walk in and your fire exit doors are not clear, I am going to close your property. They can close your property just because your fire doors had a bucket in front of them or some clothes lying around or a box lying around. They can literally close your property, guys. Okay. Fire exits means they need to be clear and they need to be closed and open in the right format. Does that make sense? Okay. They are very, very, very fussy about the fire exit routes, the emergency lightings, as well as the fire alarm. Okay. I had the council visit 3 of my hotels in one single day. Honestly, I'm a very, very psychologically tough person. I was in tears. Okay. Because they were racist and they were just sharing opinions. I actually asked them to leave my property and come back when they have actual facts rather than opinions. Okay. So, and I started recording them because when they're sharing opinions, I said, if you're going to share opinions, I'm going to start recording you. If you know actual facts of compliance, share them with me. So what happened with me was, because I went through so much pain with them, they gave me a long list between the 3 hotels to, break, you need to remove this wall from here. You need to remove this door from here, put certain kind of door, the gap between the stairs is this, all sorts of things. I went and I started reading about commercial compliance, every single word in detail, even down to that they turned up and said that the gap of these stairs is too small, right? The width of these stairs is too small. I went and checked. I went back to them. I said, it needs to be, I can't remember the exact number, but I literally checked and I wrote it on the paper and said, this is how much the width it needs to be. And it is that width. So you can't ask me to remove all the stairs in the hotel and build the stairs back again. Raise your hand if you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah. Now, when it comes to new builds, right, there are some new compliances. You need to have sprinklers. There needs to be a second fire, as in staircase, from a commercial property to take an exit. Correct me if I'm wrong now. This is the new compliance bit that's coming in. You need to have sprinklers. Is there anything new in the commercial compliance now that you're aware of?
No. I mean, sprinklers is the one that way you don't need corridors inside the house now because of the sprinklers. Yeah. No, there isn't. No, so just yeah, the width and everything is the same.
And if it's a bigger property, if it's a bigger property, correct me if I'm wrong, they're saying now that you need a staircase. It has to be 2 staircases. If it's a larger commercial property, I don't know the exact size, But I think on larger commercial properties, you need to have a second staircase as well.
Yeah, that's mainly because of the height as well.
That
And
is right, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, yeah. So if the height is over 11 meters, you'll need another staircase.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to be very well equipped with your compliance, because once you start running commercial properties, you will get visits from the local councils. In fact, I had a visit, I think 3 days ago. I think you were calling me and I was dealing with that call. Okay. And I said, let me call you back. So the council officer turned up just because someone had complained that there was a wire, as in live wire, hanging. She turned out, we showed her the whole place. There was nothing there. She then left the place and asked me to email her the electric certificate, which is what I did immediately. And then I called her up and said, the electric certificate is already with you. Were you happy with the property? She said, yes, of course. Okay. But you need to have all of this in place. Like I said, the electric and the emergency lighting certificate, no, the fire alarm and the emergency lighting certificate every 6 months. The gas and the patch certificate every 12 months. The fire extinguishers, sorry, I think that's something I forgot. Fire extinguishers need to be checked every 12 months. And your fire doors need to be clear. Your fire exit signs need to be very clear. The assembly point needs to be very clear to where it is. That's about it. That's about it. Any questions, guys?
That's fine. Yeah.